I'm working in the New Perspectives Access 2007 textbook. I'm in Tutorial 7 on creating custom reports, and I'm on page AC 353. I'm using Office 2007 Service Pack 2. You may see some differences. I am experiencing some problems with this version of Access that I have not experienced in other versions. And as we go through here, I will point those out to you, and I will try to come up with ways to help you work through problems that you might experience on your own machine. Okay, we're on page 353. We're on page 355. We're going to do sorting and grouping data in a report. So moving directly over to page 356, it wants us to add a group, and we're going to add a group on invoice item. Now in Layout View, that's where you should be, is in Report Layout View. You should see the Group, Sort, and Total pane at the bottom of your page. If you don't, go to the Format tab, and you'll see an icon there called Group and Sort. Click it, and it should open the pane at the bottom of your page. I really suggest that you use the icon to open and close the Group and Sort pane, and I'll show you why here in just a moment. Okay, the first thing they want us to do is add a group, so I'm just going to click down and add group. The field list appears, and I'm going to add invoice item. It's going to create a group header, but a group footer has not been created yet. Now I'm going to add a sort, so I'm going to come over underneath of the group that I've created. You see I could add another group, or I can add a sort. I'll click on add a sort, and I'm going to sort on invoice date. Okay. Now if I wanted to close this pane, which I really don't want to yet, but if I wanted to close it, I could come over and click on the X that says Close Grouping dialog box. If you click on this X, that is a delete, and it's going to delete either your sort, your group, or, well, it's going to delete anything that you've selected, and it's going to move the ones below it up. So that's not the way I want to do it. Now if I messed up, I might want to delete it and do it again. But to open and close the Group, Sort, and Total pane, I suggest to use the icon instead of the Close button. Okay, now that I've done those, I'm going to come down and make sure that I have Group on Invoice Item selected. I'm going to select More here. And I'm just see that it's sorted A through Z, and it's showing here that I have invoice amount totaled, but this is a bug that I'm experiencing with this version of Access, and so right now I'm going to ignore that and we're going to come back to it. It says with the title invoice item, the book asks us to take that title out, so I'm going to click on Invoice Item. It opens the Zoom box. Invoice Item, the text is selected. I'm going to click Delete, and I'm going to click OK. I have a header section. I also want a footer section because my totals are going to go in the footer section. They'll be in the group footer, and they'll be in the report footer. You don't put totals in a page footer because page footers, Access doesn't understand page footers, except when you put your name there as a label or page number. Now I'm also going to talk about keeping groups together. If you don't keep the group together on one page, what could happen is I could see community meetings here on the bottom of one page and then all the detail records that describe it beginning on the top of the next page. So if I say keep header and first record together on one page, I'd always see at least one record under the heading. The book has asked us to select the bottom one at this point, and then later we come back and we change it to keep whole group together. Rather than coming back and changing it, I'm just going to select it now. Now keeping the whole group together on one page, what that is going to do is that it's going to, if your records are short enough that you could fit the whole group on one page, but there's not enough room at the bottom, say you've got ended one group and you're going to start another one and there's not enough room there to get all of them together, it'll force it to the next page. So it's going to add additional pages to your report. So it could be a waste of resources, but it makes the report easier to read. Okay. Now what it wants us to do here, and this is where I've been discovering some issues with this version of Access, is they want us to total on invoice amount. It says that it's already total on invoice amount, but if it were total on invoice amount, I would see a total right in here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try to total on invoice amount. Now it comes up here and I try to select it, it's just not working. So we're going to have to go about this a different way. I've been through this over and over with this particular version, excuse me, and not found a quick fix on that. But there is definitely a workaround. So instead of trying to get it to work from here, I'm going to come over, I'm going to click on invoice amount. That's what I want to total. I'm going to come up to totals and I'm going to select sum. And it's going to give me my subtotal and it's going to give me my grand total. So I've accomplished the same thing here as I was trying to do in the book on page AC 358, step 7. But on step 7, for some reason, it's not working in this version. I've not experienced this before, but here's a workaround for it. This is the end of this segment.